Our dads, our cousins, our families on a day-to-day is increasing, and the jobs we are creating are actually stabilizing the region. This is something very, very rewarding for me personally.
أنا عندي سؤال بس ما بعرف إذا لازم أسأله. الرومر اللي طلعت عن Uber وكريم's acquisition. Anything you can tell us about that? Because too many question marks. If you can.
So we haven't bought them yet.
Okay, clear. That's all you're gonna say? Okay, awesome. Any questions? Nothing?
سبب عبدالله يعطيك العافية. تسمية كريم هذا الاسم
So the question was, why did we choose the name Kareem?
So when the company started, it started based on values, and it was very clear to us that we want, from the get-go, to build something big and something meaningful. Both things were very important. And to build something meaningful, you have to base it on clear values. And what is a better value than being Kareem? Than being generous with your captains. We are calling them captains because we want to be generous. We don't call them drivers. Generous with our captains, generous with our customers, generous with our colleagues who are working in Kareem. So we felt this is a good way to always remind ourselves where we are coming from. And second, it was a nice play with car and Im, so we felt maybe that's creative.
I never noticed that. I'm فاكرة Kareem from giving. Good question. Any other questions?
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
Abdullah, how do you keep an eye on the disruption that might get to your area?
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, wonderful question. So when you are a disruptor yourself,
you have this paranoia of being disrupted one day. So what we believe is we have been able, alhamdulillah, to inspire a lot of people to go out and build startups. And we believe, in fact, in fueling this ecosystem even more. To give you an example, we started an initiative in Kareem which is called Kickstarter, which is telling people the following. If you are an amazing colleague in Kareem, you're doing really well, and you have an idea to build a startup outside, then what you do is you pitch the idea to us, we look into it, and even if we will let you go with tears in our eyes, we will still let you resign. We will get you 3 months of salary, and you go out and you build your startup. But we want to see you succeeding. And we believe that competition will keep us always grow. So we had an amazing guy with us in Kareem who came and pitched his idea, and he got his 3 months of Kareem salary, and is going out now to build a startup in an area which is very close to what we are doing. In delivery of groceries. So we wish him all the best. We believe...
Maybe you could acquire him later.
Yeah, maybe, exactly. And we believe in competition and in us and the need to reinvent the way we are operating non-stop. On the other hand, to really stay on top of not being disrupted yourself, you have to educate yourself non-stop. You have to go out of your bubble of the Middle East. You have to go to the West and the East and to see what's going on there and to connect deeply with people and networks there. And for example, networks like Endeavor, they help us very, very well in connecting everywhere in the world with the hot startups out there to always be on top of the curve.
And ArabNet.
And ArabNet.
Anyone else?
Thank you. Salam Abdullah.
Hello.
I have a question regarding scalability. So you guys have scaled very, very quickly. How did you manage to do that while keeping the culture of Kareem when you guys started? Because it's not easy just to hire a lot of people coming from different cultures, backgrounds, etc., and then keeping Kareem culture happening. Any hacks or tips, please? The secrets.
Although the question is, have we really mastered that? That's a question mark. I would say a part of our culture stayed, a part of our culture evolved, and a part of our culture sadly is lost and we need to regain it. So when you scale within 4.5 years from 300 captains to 1 million captains, when you scale in the same time from 40 colleagues, employees who are working with you, to 3,000, almost 3,500 colleagues who are working with you, it's very hard to sustain the same culture, very, very hard. And in fact, not only us are struggling with that, all startups in the world have this question mark, how can we keep our culture, which got us to where we are, but how can we scale this furthermore? So that's a hard problem to solve. And we did 2 initiatives lately in order to not lose the amazing parts of our culture which got us here. We did one initiative to redefine our values. So we defined our values again, we wrote them down, we propagated them again through a roadshow in all our markets in order to make all the people across Kareem living them, and we redefined the way we are operating. So we called it the OS, Kareem Operating System, where we took it one by one, what is the behavior of our colleagues, and we took it really to a detailed level. What is the behavior of our colleagues we want to see? And now we give it back to the markets for them to define actually how they want to implement it. It needs so much time and effort, to see this going live. And Fadi Ghandour was talking in that topic, in that context about his 10 years of a struggle, 10 years to get his values and the company culture from paper to reality. He took 10 years to do that. We believe because we are a tech company and things are moving faster these days. Back in the days he worked with fax. We have Snapchat today. So things should move faster. We believe it's an exercise where within a year max we hopefully will see this all flourish again.
Assalamu alaikum. First, I want to mention that you're an inspiration to all Saudi entrepreneurs, and I have a question regarding your business model. Do you find it very competitive, like competing on prices? Like how long can Kareem go with like competing on prices and competing with a company like Uber?
That's an amazing question. We in fact believe that it's not sustainable to compete on prices. This is not how we want to make our brand statement. We want to win on experiences. So in the first place, if you are obsessed with competition and with the prices of the competition, you lose the touch to the real value add you're giving to the customer. So we believe it is important that you respect the competition and that you keep an eye on competition, but your real obsession should be with the value add of your customer, of your captains, and of your colleagues. So that's number one. Your obsession needs to be with the market. Only when you have this obsession, then you focus on experience-driven growth. So that's our mantra for the next years. We believe in the philosophy. Only when you are providing amazing experiences, you grow sustainably. If you don't, you just buy growth, you get customers on board, who after a while leave you again because the experience you're providing is not something they catch. They make them stick into your platform. And we've seen that not working well. We've seen the experience-led growth working fantastically for us. So this is the path we believe to profitability, and this is what we're doing going forward. Thank you, good question.
Abdullah, the last question would be, how do you encourage foreign businesses to come back to Saudi, and the people that used to think that the Saudi market which is one of the most challenging markets in terms of especially localization. So what advice do you give foreign businesses who would like to build their business in Saudi and they fear the challenge that they might still seen as foreigners?
So what advice do I give people who want to do business in Saudi?
That are not non-Saudis.
That are non-Saudis and who... The Saudi market is the biggest market in the region. So there is a huge importance for being present in Saudi with whatever product you're offering. So if you have the ability, if you haven't started yet, if you start the business already here in Saudi, that would be the biggest advice. Start it from here, build it from here, start it with the Saudi DNA to develop it from here. Everything in terms of infrastructure is becoming easier these days. This was usually what was holding people back to come here and to start a business here. But nowadays it's becoming way easier to find amazing talent to bring on board. If you have a great story to tell, a mission people get excited by, then you can attract actually people to come on board and to build this business together with you. And second, it's becoming, if you don't want to go this route and you have your business already operating somewhere else but you want to come to Saudi, then there's always two ways. Either you partner with someone within the country, or you come through Sagia, which is becoming easier now also. So you can actually keep your own structure and operate here. It's becoming easier than it was before. So good luck.
Amazing. I think our time is up. If you would like to share any last words to conclude this conversation.
Well, when I'm here on ArabNet, and this happens every time I go to an ArabNet, I always leave the hall very, very inspired by the fantastic opportunities I'm seeing people going after, and by the talent I'm seeing coming richer and richer into depths of their startups. So it's super inspiring, and I wish every year to come and to be again inspired.
Hopefully.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us, Kaman. Thank you all for being here.